Hi, this is Arsh here, and today I'd like to discuss a little bit about why the Black Panther is not a progressive film. So, to begin with, the palatable hype around Black Panther, Marvel's latest superhero film, cannot be understated. In a little over a month into its release, it has already climbed into the top 20 highest grossing Hollywood productions ever. That said, the jubilation around the film's success seems to be built primarily through its trailers, which I must admit I enjoyed far more than the film itself, as they jibed on Gil Scott-Heron's iconic song, "The Revolution Will Not Be Televised." It has been critically acclaimed on Rotten Tomatoes, rating it at 97% on the tomato meter. To note, however, is that its audience score is considerably lower at 79%. Having already grossed in over 400 million US dollars, we can well see this film going on to become the best-selling Marvel movie ever. What is worrying, however, is that the utopia that it imagines of Wakanda, an economy that owes its prowess thanks largely to a meteorite of vibranium that landed eons ago, and which has since consequently been used to develop weaponry and technology that would far outstrip advanced Western ordinances, inversions of this kind carry with them a spark of wish fulfillment that ideologically seek to rectify some of the unfortunate material realities. However, what is troublesome is that this is a utopia whose history we are never privy to. What we see is the end product, and what is forgotten, mind you, not even relegated to lore, is what went into creating a hidden empire in the mountains of Africa by mortal people. If anything could even ideologically challenge the reality of imperialism, it would have been such a narrative. To be just in our assessment, however, let us focus on what the film does devote itself to. The Black Panther is not an alien like Superman. This is not an epoch set in the space race, such as the geopolitical situation which gave us the Alien franchise. Neither is he a noir-hardened vigilante like Batman, and if the color of a superhero's skin is truly an issue, then such a poll is comparable with Spawn, the demon shapeshifter from hell. The Black Panther is a king, and it is this that makes the Wakandan utopia so disappointing. Blessed with perhaps the rarest mineral resource in the DC and Marvel universe combined, which facilitates the production of inconceivable technologies, this independent civilization chooses to be ruled by an autocrat who inherits a title. Remember, his father is killed in the bombing of the UN Assembly in Captain America's Civil War. What makes this situation truly upsetting is that this constellation reveals itself in a time where autocratic right-wing governments have established state power in much of the known world. Erdogan in Turkey, Putin in Russia, Trump in America, and Modi in India. And while these linchpins seem to enjoy the reins at the top of their state mechanisms, their ground-level grunts frighteningly resemble Mussolini and Hitler's brown shirt squads of armed goons who were mandated to use armed force to suppress opposing voices. The RSS in India is perhaps emblematic of such an outfit. This brings us to the question of fascism and its political configuration. No one seems to have asked the question that why is it that a society in no way plagued by any recognizable scarcity, such as Wakanda, is unable to rise beyond the most primitive clannish divisions? A unified Wakanda would certainly have proved a stronger deterrent to foreign aggression. It seems far too conveniently positioned that a technologically advanced and mineral-rich African nation can't seem to form a cohesive government. And the crux of the plot is hinged on ritual combat of all practices to determine sovereignty. I think there may be a larger point here about the nature of fascist political practice and its relationship to violence, but for the paucity of time and for this review to remain cinched to the film in question, I shall conclude my considerations. Thank you.